Milroy, Minnesota, and home to the State C Amateur Baseball Tournament. And we have the Prior Lake Mudcats, who last week looked like they were on the verge of elimination, and they are alive, taking on the champions from 2017, the Kimball Express. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv, and we will have the game for you right after this.
Number 20, Jake Trowbridge.
The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you. Andy Price along with Nicholas Earlbeck, and we are here at Milroy's Yankee Field on this Saturday afternoon, Game 3 of today, Game 4 of the weekend of the top 32 teams in Class C going head-to-head. And it's being introduced right now, the Kimball Express. They won this State C tournament in 2017, got to the Final Four in 2018. They are led by one of the legends, especially in recent time. Tom Morcourt is the manager of the Kimball Express as they get ready to play their round of 32 game against the Prior Lake Mudcats. The Mudcats were down 10-2 last week to the New Ulm Brewers in Springfield and went on to score 11 runs in the 7th inning, sending 16 batters to the plate, but only collecting 3 hits, if you believe that. It's one of the most unique line scores I've ever seen in baseball of any level. And I'm even talking about kid pitch in 3rd grade to see that type of a line score. But Prior Lake advanced on with the win over the Brewers, 13-10, and they advance on today to take on the Kimball Express. The Kimball Express is the home team, and they are wearing their burnt orange reddish jerseys, gray trousers, and the blue caps. Very, very fashionable uniform with their 3 draftees. On the flip side, the Prior Lake Mudcats in their cream-colored jerseys with the red and red lettering, Mudcats across, with the piping down the leg, or the legs of the pants, and also the piping on the jersey. They're red caps with the blue bills. Let's go to the Prior Lake lineup as we get ready for this one here. And they will lead off their center fielder, Johnny Houston. Batting second will be Cole Bjorg. Corbin Cross is the third baseman, and he'll bat third. Their cleanup hitter, Alex Waterman, the shortstop. Batting fifth, Luke Weber. The second baseman, Jake Lehrer, is batting sixth, and he's the right fielder. The designated hitter is Ben Morrison, and he will be batting seventh. Ben Kelsey batting eighth, and Jared Lehrer is batting ninth for Prior Lake. Their starting pitcher today will be Ben Morrison. Morrison is the DH/pitcher for Prior Lake. For the Kimball Express, their lineup looks like this. Austin Ruley will be batting first, playing left field. Scott Marquardt is at third base and is batting second. Adam Byer is the first baseman batting third. Their cleanup hitter is their pitcher, Ben Johnson. Joe Pennertz is the designated hitter. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth is Cade Marquardt, the grandson, one of the many family members and grandsons of the manager, Tom Marquardt. He is batting sixth, and catching Brian Marquardt also at shortstop, and he'll be batting seventh. Max Tibbetts batting eighth. He's at second base, and Brooks Marquardt is in center field. I'm sorry about that, and he will be batting ninth. Matt Dingman is the right fielder, and he is being DH'd for. He will not be at the plate, at least to start this game. Andy Price along with Nicholas Earlbeck, and we have ourselves our fourth game of the tournament here for week 2, our third game of the day. We'll update everything that's going on, and we're going to get things started with Prior Lake coming to the plate in the first, and it's Johnny Houston, the center fielder. And the first pitch from Ben Johnson is in for a strike. Curveball, strike 2. As I mentioned, they are the 2017 champions. 2018, they got to the Final Four. Johnson quickly ahead 0-2 with a big frisbee-like curveball, and he misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kimball up on Highway 55, and the ground ball is fair, fielded by the first baseman. He'll flip it over to Johnson. The first baseman is Adam Byer, and Byer with the flip to Johnson. 3-1 on the putout, and the first out is recorded in this game. Ben Johnson wearing number 13, 6 feet tall, 190 pounds, from Becker, Minnesota. That brings up the number 2 hitter for Prior Lake, the Mudcats, Cole Bjorg, playing left field. Johnson, the big righty, fires inside, just misses the kneecap, ball 1. Really strong crowd from the Kimball crew. They're wearing the same color shirts with the phrase on it, "Guess who's back?" Kimball very proud of their baseball tradition. Tom Morcourt's been with the Kimball Express since 1975. A ball and a strike from Ben Johnson to Cole Bjorg, and he hits him as he tries to come back inside, and that will be a hit by pitch, and our first base runner of the game is Cole Bjorg, the left fielder. He'll head down to first base, and that brings up number 35, Corbin Cross. Cross last week did not get a base hit in that big 13-run outburst against New Ulm, but he did score 2 runs and he had an RBI. But when you only get 3 hits out of 16 batters going to the plate in 1 inning, there's not a lot of hits to be had. So when I read off their stats from last week, you're going to go, well, how the heck did they score 13 runs? Well, they did it off walks, hit batters, errors, as New Ulm imploded, and the beneficiary of that implosion, as the count goes to 2-0 to Corbin Cross, the beneficiary of the implosion was the Prior Lake Mudcats. So they are into the second round, trying to get to the Sweet 16. And the pitch is in for a strike. 2 balls and a strike now to Corbin Cross, the infield for the Express of Kimball. Cade Marquardt is the catcher. As I mentioned, the grandson. Adam Byer is at first base. Ground ball, and that will sneak through for a base hit. Corbin Cross singles, and it gets past the right fielder, Matt Dingman. All the way around third is Bjorg. Bjorg's going to go to score, and holding up at third is Corbin Cross. So Cross with a single to right, and then a 2-base error, E9, and that allows the run to score. No RBI on that for Cross. Error scoring Cole Bjorg. So after being hit by the pitch, Bjorg gets the benefit of an error that allows him to scramble around the bases and score. So 1-0, Prior Lake has taken the lead. And strike to the first pitch on the first pitch to Alex Waterman, the shortstop. Waterman last week was 2 for 4. He drove in 4 runs. Not a lot of runs were driven in. There were runs that were hit in, or as hit batters and walks in that 11-run inning. But in that game, Waterman did drive in 4 of them. So the first pitch was a strike. Second pitch is a ball up high on the curveball. Runner at third, and a strike from Johnson. So Johnson's given up a run. The infield, the first baseman and third baseman, Byer and Scott Marquardt, are pinching in. Any ball hit to the corner, they'll try to make a play at the plate if the runner goes. Pitch outside, and we are level at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the first inning, the Prior Lake Mudcats, the Prior Lake Mudcats. How many errors? That's 4 errors in just 1 sentence. For the Mudcats leading the Kimball Express 1-0. 2-2 pitch is a strike. They're saying the ball was caught. The runner did sprint down to first for a second. Waterman did, but that is the second out. First strikeout for Ben Johnson, the pitcher.
Now batting second baseman number 5, Luke Weber.
Prior Lake advanced on through this 3C tournament. They lost to Union Hill and New Prague. Both of those teams are still alive in this tournament. Union Hill winning last night over Lamberton, and New Prague playing later in this weekend. First pitch is a ball to Luke Weber. Luke Weber is wearing number 5, and he is the second baseman. He's got a runner 90 feet away, and they already lead 1-0. Ground ball to second, picked up on one hop over there by Brian Marquardt, and he throws across for the out to Adam Beyer. But a run does score. There was one hit. There was an error. That is an unearned run. And it doesn't matter. It's a run. And the Prior Lake Mudcats have taken a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the first inning. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv coverage of the Class C state tournament. Andy Price, Nicholas Earlbeck with you. We'll be right back.
Your family and the Rich Kramer family.
Back with you here in Milroy, and a nice announcement by the public address announcer as they were talking about Luke Weber, who's playing second base. Weber just grounded out to shortstop on that play. He has very strong Milroy ties, as his grandfather was Rich Kramer, a legend in southern Minnesota baseball, and he helped Milroy to a state championship some 55 years ago. I guess we're talking 65 years ago. And he is the grandson of Rich Kramer. And Luke Becker is now playing shortstop, or Luke Weber. So many Beckers, I apologize. Luke Weber playing shortstop for the Prior Lake Mudcats with ties to Milroy. This is a very proud baseball area and a very proud baseball community in Milroy. As we have mentioned, here we are at the Milroy Yankees ballpark, which is on the south end of town. There is a second ballpark, the Irish ballpark, which is outside in the countryside, out of town in the countryside, about 3 or 4 miles to the north and east of town on Highway 19 as it's heading towards Redwood Falls, and another beautiful ballpark there. Here at the Yankees field, it is just a spectacular setting. It is classic Americana with the farm fields in the background and the small town and just a love of baseball, and it oozes out of the Yankees field here in Milroy, Minnesota. So we go to the bottom of the first inning, and Kimball down 1-0 with Austin Ruley getting his first crack. Ruley, the left fielder, and the pitcher for the Prior Lake Mudcats is Ben Morrison. So we have two Bens on the hill today, and that's just a recipe for my disaster of making mistakes. But it's Ben Morrison, the right-hander, wearing number 1 on the hill for the Prior Lake Mudcats. Curveball is grounded into the hole between short and third. And a base hit for Austin Ruley to start things off as they try to make up that run that was given up on the air in right field as it slipped past the base hit to right field, slipped past the right fielder, allowing Colby Org to run and run and run, and he scores all the way from first base. So that's going to bring up Scott Marquardt. Hitting number 2 in the lineup, and he looks at a curveball, and it catches the corner of the plate. Strike 1. Morrison now out of the stretch as the leadoff hitter, Ruley. And Morrison hits it hard, but right at the center fielder. And that ball is caught out in center field by Johnny Houston. And there is one out in this bottom of the first inning. Adam Beyer coming to the plate.
Now batting first baseman number 34, Adam Beyer.
1-0. Prior Lake scoring in the first. On the scoreboard, it almost looks like they scored 7 in the first, but they only get 1. Quick toss over to first base to check Ruley. Ruley singled. Each team now with 1 hit in the game. Morrison, the kick and the delivery. Curveball was right at the shoulder of Byer. Byer did not back away, and the ball breaks inside, but it's ball 1. Ball and no strikes. Another toss over to first base. Breaking pitch, swung on and missed from Byer. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're just underway here. And Prior Lake scores an unearned run in the first. Another breaking ball, up high, and it's 2-1. Two balls and a strike. Morrison delivers breaking ball inside, 3-1. He has been going to his curveball or slider, a little mixture of the two, to the right-handed hitters. But he's down 3-1 in the count, and the pitch swung on a miss as he goes straight fastball, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bottom of the first inning here in Milroy. Keep you up to date on other games going on across the area. We know we have lots happening. 3-2 pitch. He did not offer. They'll check that with the umpire out in the field, but base on balls for Byer. And that will bring up the pitcher, Ben Johnson.
Now batting the pitcher number 13, Ben Johnson.
So Ruley moves over to second base. At first is Byer, and here's Ben Johnson, the cleanup hitter. Fastball in for a strike from Morrison to Johnson. These are the two pitchers, Ben to Ben. And Ben Morrison starts with a strike. Ground ball to third. He's going to step on the bag and throw across, and the throw is high. So not able to get the double play is the third baseman, Corbin Cross, but they do get the lead runner. So 5 unassisted erases Austin Ruley for the second out. Adam Byers on to second, and Ben Johnson ends up at first on the fielder's choice. So no error, 2 down. And that will bring up Joe Pennertz. Pennertz, the DH. And the first pitch is just under his armpits, ball 1. Just a spectacular afternoon. It's just getting a little warmer. I'm guessing it's 81, 82 out. Light breeze, very comfortable. Pennertz grounds towards third. It's wide of the bag and wide of Cross, and it goes foul, so the count is now 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-0. Prior Lake leading it over the Kimball Express in the bottom of the first inning. Fastball over the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes now to Pennertz. 2 runners on and 2 out. See if the Kimball Express can answer with a run. Starting at 5 o'clock over in Springfield. Foul ball back. Bemidji taking on Maple Lake. That game getting underway at 5 o'clock, so they're underway there. In their game, this had a really good game this morning with Sartell beating Gaylord, and then St. Patrick moving on with a win. So St. Patrick is another team that has won 2 games. St. Patrick Irish, the Union Hill squad, has won 2 games. And here it was the Carver Black Sox who've won their second game and eliminating one of the top 16 seeds from the tournament, one of the 16 region champions. So a ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs here, bottom of the first inning, and the pitch from Morrison is outside, and it gets past the catcher. We'll call it a wild pitch. And now 2 runners are in scoring position. for the Express. Fans, young and old, coming in from Kimball and around the area for this one. Many of them dressed in the same T-shirt. Morrison delivers inside, and the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes as the catcher, Ben Kelsey, another Ben, is able to keep that one from going to the backstop, maybe keeping a run from scoring. Full count, curveball, and it's outside, and we have loaded the bases. So a first inning loaded with a lot of pitches. Pennertz walks. He goes to first base. At second base is Ben Johnson. At third base is Adam Byer. So 3 runners on right now for the squad from the Kimball area, and the Prior Lake Lakers left a runner on base and scored a run in their first inning. So Prior Lake playing in a game that came very close to being 4 hours in length last week in beating New Ulm, and they're off to a little bit of a turtle pace in their start in this one with the bases loaded. Johnson delivers, and it's a ground ball. It's a slow roller towards third, and I'm not sure Costa's going to be able to get it. He doesn't. A second run is going to try to – oh, they got the out, 5-3. So it didn't look like he was going to get it. The runners were moving, so no runs score on that play. Cade Marquardt, the catcher, grounds out to the third baseman, and Koss was able to was able to field it and throw it on one hop and get the out. He had the catcher running, and with that they get the third out. So no runs are going to score. 3 runners left on base. Just 1 base hit in the inning. And Kimball strands the bases loaded, and we'll go to the second inning. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv coverage of the State C tournament. It's Prior Lake 1, Kimball nothing. Back with you here in Milroy. And we've got some updates from around the area. The Class B tournament, we told you that earlier in the day. The Miesville Mud Hens moved into the Final Four. And Cold Spring is leading Elko, and that scores 7-2 in the top of the 6th as they are trying to move in. The Cold Spring Springers, a team of much tradition, renowned in the Class B world. They are trying to get into the Final Four, and they lead in the other game, as we talked about, Maple Lake. And their matchup, as Maple Lake won last week in their second round showdown now, and they are getting underway as Maple Lake is taking on Bemidji. So we go to the top of the second. It is 1-0. And batting for the Prior Lake Mudcats, Jake Lair. Jake Lair, the right fielder. He's number 6 in the order. And he flares a foul. 2 foul balls in the count 0-2. Mudcats, great nickname. And the nickname of absolutely one of my favorite people in my 12 years of working for the Minnesota Twins. One of my all-time favorite people to work with, Jim Mudcat Grant. Another foul ball. Count remains 0-2 to Jake Lair, the right fielder. Lair last week went 2 for 5. He scored a run and also had an RBI. 0-2 pitch. Misses the outside corner, 1-2 the count. Coming from the sidearm, and Lair goes down on a called third strike. Second strike from Ben Johnson, and the first out here in the top of the second inning. Ben Morrison comes to the plate. A lot of facial hair on this Prior Lake Mudcats team. Step back, though, I wanted to finish up my Mudcat Grant story. I had the chance to meet Mudcat 5 or 6 times throughout his days with my days with the Twins, and in the 2 occasions that I just wanted to touch upon before we go on here is Morrison swings and misses at a hard breaking ball, and the count goes to 0-2 on Morrison. So it's pitcher versus pitcher again. Johnson versus Morrison, both named Ben. Oh, 2 pitch up high, hard fastball from Ben Johnson. Wild delivery, and the count goes to 1-2. But Mudcat, in both the memorial services for Kirby Puckett and Harmon Killebrew, did fabulous renditions of What a Wonderful World, the Louis Armstrong song. And they were poignant and genuine and touching moments. In the 2 of the harder moments as a Twins employee and as Twins fans we had to bear, and that was the death of Kirby Puckett way too early back in 2006, and then the death of Harmon Killebrew as he succumbed to cancer in 2011. So that's my Mudcat story, and I always am thankful to Jim Mudcat Grant for his efforts in those events and what he did as a Minnesota Twins player. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch is called third strike as Morrison flips his bat thinking it was ball 4. So back-to-back called third strikes. Strikeout number 3 for Ben Johnson, and Ben Kelsey comes to the plate.
Now batting at catcher number 27, Ben Kelsey.
Not sure if I've called a sporting event in my life with so many Bens. First pitch in for a strike is Ben Johnson, after giving the unearned run up in the first inning, has come back with 2 strikeouts here in the second. Ben Kelsey wearing number 27. He had 2 runs batted in that 13-10 win over New Ulm last week. 1 for 3 on the day was Ben Kelsey. Quickly 0-2 as Ben Johnson's trying to make quick work, and he delivers the pitch. It's grounded to first, picked up over there by Adam Beyer, and the flip on over to Ben Johnson. So 3-1 on the putout. It's the second time those 2 have combined for an out, and we go to the bottom of the second. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State Seed Tournament, and it's Kimball trailing 1-0 as they come to the plate in the bottom of the second.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Well, from 180 miles away, the executive producer is doing his job, reminding me to make sure that the score bug is updated correctly and that we have the proper inning. I had the first inning there for the top half of the second, so we are square now as we go to the bottom of the second. And Kimball comes to the plate against the Prior Lake Mudcats. Ben Morrison on the mound. So here in the second inning, it'll be 7, 8, 9. Brian Marquardt, Max Tibbetts, and Brooks Marquardt. Oh my. We have I just want to make sure. We've had some issues here. Now this is Brian Marquardt. Brian Marquardt batting. They announced Max Tibbetts. Earlier in the day we had a major mix-up with the lineup that was in, misnaming the designated hitter for us that are not all that intelligent. So 2 strikes now from Ben Morrison to Brian Marquardt. This is Brian Marquardt, the shortstop. And the pitch is up, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Leadoff hitter in the bottom of the second for Kimball. The Express trailing 1-0, and a curveball misses just inside. That's a good pitch right there, but it misses just inside, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Prior Lake leading 1-0. I think Ben Morrison thought he had it. Fastball outside, 3-2. So he keeps trying to find a corner, and the count runs to 3-2. He came inside corner, didn't get the call. He went outside corner, didn't get the call. Let's see what happens on 3-2. Fastball grounded towards third, wide of third, and foul ball. Three balls and 2 strikes, and the ground ball is again foul right at the third base coaching box and fielded nicely. Sticks it in his pocket. Three-two the count. Misses inside and a walk. So Brian Marquardt is on with a walk, the third walk of the game. So he's walked Beyer, he's walked Pennertz, and he's walked Marquardt. So 3 walks, he's only registered 3 outs. Nobody out here, and Max Tibbetts comes to the plate. And that's grounded wide of third and wide of the coaching box as well. Strike 1 to Tibbetts. Kimball team has become a factor at the state tournament over the last few years for sure, winning it all in 2017. Tibbetts squares to bunt, and they get the runner caught between first and second. He had leaned a little bit too far forward, and they get him in the rundown, and they'll tag out the runner, Brian Marquardt. 2-3-6 on that play for the first out of the inning. So the missed bunt by Tibbetts, and the runner assuming that the bunt was going to get down, and he took a little bit too much of a peek off of first base, and throwing behind him to get the out is Ben Kelsey. So Ben Kelsey makes the defensive play to get the first out. Tibbetts drives it foul down the left field line and well out of play off the metal bleachers. Everybody, every section of the stands, bleachers and the party deck and the grandstand are now filled with people, and even some of the tables down the first base side. A ball and 2 strikes now to Tibbetts. 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Curveball hit towards third. It's bobbled, picked up, and throw is way high, and Tibbetts will be safe. He went into first base hard. See, looks like he's okay. So the air will go to the third baseman on the play, and that is Corbin Cross. So Cross, who made the play to end the first inning when the bases were loaded, allows the ball to play him and air 5. So both of the first batters in this inning reach base. One was erased, and now 3. It's hit by pitch. So a walk, an air, and a hit by pitch, and this is eerily similar to some of the things we were hearing about that game last week between Prior Lake and New Ulm. Tidy is not a way to describe it. Again, they left 3 runners on base at the Kimball Express last inning. And we go back to the top of the order. Austin Ruley, the left fielder, he singled to start, but he was erased on a fielder's choice. Ruley wearing number 6. 1 out, and Morrison delivers, and the pitch is a strike. Feigned the bunt, pulled it back, and it is strike 1. 0-1 pitch is over, not outside, and the count 1-1. Catcher Kelsey just asking exactly a location on where that pitch was, wanting to know as they adjust from a pitching standpoint. 1-1 pitch on the way, and it's outside, 2 balls and a strike. 2 runners on, 1 out in the bottom of the second inning here. We are in Milroy, and this is a game to get to the Sweet 16. Morrison delivers. Ground ball into the hole, and rounding third and heading home is Tibbetts. The throw to the plate is not in time. It gets past the catcher Kelsey, and on the throw, everybody moves up a base. So Austin Ruley has an RBI with the single to left. His second hit, 2 for 2. Coming around to score Max Tibbetts. And we are tied 1-1. Brooks Marquardt heads down to third base, and Ruley over to second on the throw. Scott Marquardt to the plate. So 1-1 is your score. We are all tied up. There's just 1 out in the inning, and an inning that has seen all 4 batters reach base. A walk and then a pickoff. Ground ball by Marquardt. It's fair. Cross comes up throwing, and he gets the out, and because of where it's hit, nobody can advance. So Scott Marquardt is out number 2, and that brings up Adam Byer. Byer walked his first time up. So we had a walk, an error, a hit by pitch, and a single. That's all leading to 1 run and 2 runners now on base. Little bat boy took a little dive as he's running out to get the bat. He's got to get into the dugout. Folks in Kimball love their Express. Swing and a miss from Adam Byer, the first baseman. He reached base on a walk his first time up. It's 1-1 now in the bottom of the second. 2 down. Ben Morrison, the starting pitcher for the Mudcats, delivers a breaking ball and foul tip from Byer, and he's down in the count 0-2. Game 3 of 4 here today. And the 0-2 pitch is high. He misses way up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Seen a lot of batters fall behind quickly in the count today, 0-2, and watch pitchers nibbling at the plate, trying to get a swing. 1-2 pitch high, 2-2 for Morrison. Just exerting effort, to me, is what is happening, but we've got 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners on. Pitch, curveball, strike 3. So Morrison gets Byer to strike out, and that ends the inning. And we're going to step aside and take a break. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv coverage of the Kimball Express and the Prior Lake Mudcats. It's 1-1. We'll be right back.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
As we said, we had just a great crew here from Kimball and Prior Lake as well. We've had great crowds coming from towns all over the state of Minnesota as we go here to the third inning, and we had a birthday wish we wanted to pass along, and we'll do it right now as we get to the first pitch here in the top of the third. Garrett Hosh, who is up in St. Joe, is turning 13 years old today. Wanted to be at the ballpark, and I think a lot of the fans here wanted Garrett to be at the ballpark as well, but it's celebrating a birthday, and when you turn 13 and you become a teenager, sometimes you do things like that and not come to the ballpark. But a happy birthday from everybody in the Kimball Express crowd to Garrett Hosh in St. Joe. And we try to get back to the score bug and not the Wings Financial. So, and no, it was that birthday greeting was not brought to you by Wings Financial. Garrett, maybe you'll go to work there someday. All right, let's pick it up here in the top of the third inning for Prior Lake, and it's their number 9 hitter, Jared Lair, at the plate, wearing number 22. He is the first baseman. 3 balls and a strike to Jared, and he sees a strike from Ben Johnson, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ben Johnson pitching for the Kimball Express. Ben Morrison pitching for Prior Lake. Each has given up a run. Swung on and fouled straight back off the facade of the grandstand, and the count is full up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Prior Lake with the team in the Class B tournament as well as the team in the Class C tournament. Grounded towards first on one knee. Byer fields it just like they teach you. Just like they teach you. Get down on that knee, make the play, get up, tag the bag. 3 unassisted for the first out here in the top of the third inning. It is fun when we see these crowds come out, and they're limited. They were only able to sell 125 tickets per. Maple Lake has taken a 3-0 lead over Bemidji in their game in Springfield. That one in the second inning. We saw St. Patrick win the game prior to this there, or to that one there, 10-1. 1 ball and 1 strike now to the leadoff hitter, Johnny Houston. I always wanted to be named after a city. Could have been Andy Milroy. That's what I should have been. But here's Johnny Houston coming to the plate. 2 balls and a strike, 1 out. Ben Johnson kicks and delivers. Good fastball, swung on and missed. 2-2 the count. Johnson has struck out 3 Mudcats. Top of the third, all squared up. Pitch outside, and we go full. I don't know if I correctly described the uniform of the Mudcats, if they're cream or if that's just an off-white. That'd be an egg white. What's the difference between egg white and cream? I think that's somewhere in between there for the Mudcats uniform. Full count pitch, strike 3. Fastball right at the knees, and he freezes Johnny Houston. 2 down. It's going to bring up Cole Bjorg, and Cole was hit by a pitch. And then he came around to score. Corbin Cross, who hits third, had a base hit to right. It got past the right fielder, and that allowed Bjorg to sprint around the base paths and score the 1 run right now for the Mudcats. First pitch, fouls it straight back. 0-1. Top of the third. Game 3 out of 4 today. Game 4 out of 8. I'm not counting, though. It's gorgeous weather and a great time to be at the ballpark. Takes your cares away from a lot of things happening in this world, I can tell you that much. Pitch misses down and in. A ball and a strike. You just get lost here in this baseball diamond in the countryside of southwestern Minnesota. It's easy to do. 1-1 pitch in for a strike, and Ben Johnson trying to get his second straight 1-2-3 inning and retire. He's retired 7 straight. He's trying to make Bjorg his 8th straight batter that he's retired. Johnson agrees with the catcher, kicks and goes sidearm and misses with the fastball outside. He's gone submarine style a couple times today. I think he's missed both times he's done it, but it's something that batters have to be wary of. 2-2 pitch, curveball, strike three, and back-to-back strikeouts looking in this inning. Bottom of the third we go, and you're watching PrepSpotlight.tv's coverage of the State C Tournament. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from Week 1 of the Class C Tournament from both Springfield and Milroy.
Driven to the gap in left center field. This one lands. They throw to the plate. It's not in time. Four and a walk. Runner going. Byer. And the pitch gets away. Byer coming home. There won't be a play. And Foley wins the game.
Sorensen delivers. It's hit hard to right. And that is going to be over his head. Delivers an RBI double. 0-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike three. And that ends the game. He gets him on a called third strike. He had to call third strike in the inning.
Ground ball up the middle. Great stop by the second baseman. Firing to first and got him. But guess what? The Prior Lake Mudcats have just taken the lead.
Pitch. Hit a long way. Deep. Looking back, and it is gone. And Matt Ambrose has opened this game up with a 3-run home run.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for Kimball, pitcher number 13, Ben Johnson.
Bottom of the third inning we go here in Milroy, and it is 1-1. Ben Johnson facing Ben Morrison. Ben Johnson, the pitcher for Kimball, in his red tops and gray trousers. He's now at the plate. Morrison delivers a pitch. It's grounded hard to short. Play is made over by Alex Waterman, and the throw to first is on target, so the first out. And Waterman and the Mudcats erase Johnson, and one out here in the bottom of the third, and Joe Pennertz, who walked his first time up, wearing number 21, comes to the plate. Morrison rocks and fires and throws a strike. Oh, he misses. I thought that was called a strike. Ball one. 1-0 the count. All right. Comes right back. Curveball. That's a strike. And it's 1-1 now. Kimball with 2 base hits. Prior Lake with 1. Their run they scored was unearned. Swing and a miss from Pennertz, and that was a strike. I knew that first pitch was a strike. You got to correct me, Nick. You got to correct me. I saw it, and the board had it as 1-1, but it was actually 0-2. So that's it. Strikeout for Morrison. That's his second strikeout. Cade Marquardt, the grandson of Tom, the manager, is at the plate. Cade with the open stance. He's a catcher. I believe he said he's heading to Itasca. Marquarts have gone to Itasca and then on to other colleges afterwards. And it's 2 balls and no strikes as Morrison misses with his first 2 pitches in the bottom of the third inning. 1-1 your score. Maple Lake, I believe, has extended their lead to 3-0 over Bemidji. And Cade Marquardt rips a single out to left field, so he is now 1 for 2. And 3 hits in the game. He's the first person named that is not named Austin Ruley with a base hit for the Kimball Express into the bottom of the third. Ruley has the other 2. Brian Marquardt to the plate. Two outs in the Bottom of the third and the bottom of the order now, trying to keep this thing alive with a runner on first, and Brian Marquardt swings and it catches a piece, after the foul tip, catches a piece of the catcher Ben Kelsey. Ben Kelsey wipes the sweat out of his eyes and the sting of the foul ball. Marquardt walked, and then he got picked off when a bunt attempt by Max Tibbetts didn't happen. Marquardt leaned a little bit too far off of the bag, and he was picked off in no man's land and got into a rundown between first and second, or eventually tagged out. No balls and one strike, and his second appearance with a runner at first base. Swing and a miss. Morrison gets ahead in the count. 0-2. Baseball all over the state of Minnesota today. Shakopee. We're getting down to the Final Four, and they'll play the Final Four tomorrow and then get into the losers bracket next week and then crown a champion. Foul tip from Marquardt, and the runner was going. Off and running was Cade Marquardt. Brian gets a piece of it and stays alive 0-2 here in the bottom of the third and a 1-1 tie. The winner of this game will play the winner of that game going on in Springfield. Outside the pitch, 1-2. So that game being led by Maple Lake right now. Maple Lake, Kimball can't be too far apart. I'll take a look at it on the map. Get old Google Maps going for you here. 1 ball, 2 strikes, curveball, and a swing and a miss. So 1 hit, 1 runner stranded, no runs. So we're going to go to the top of the 4th inning. We played a third of this game, and it's tied 1-1. It's Prior Lake. It's Kimball. It's PrepSpotlight.tv. Thanks for joining us today. Xfinity and Wings bringing you this coverage of the State C tournament along with the Minnesota Baseball Association. Great partnership this year between the NBA and PrepSpotlight.tv and Big G Media. And take a look at the water tower here in Milroy and a shot from the 2019 Emmy Award nominated series, Town Ball, uniquely Minnesota, is seen on Fox Sports North, produced by Big G Media. And you can get that each of the 8 episodes. Watch the entire darn series. It was exciting. It was a great look at the history of Town Ball, a look at what it means today and where we're heading in the future with Town Ball, amateur baseball in Minnesota. And you can get it on Amazon if you're an Amazon Prime member. Ain't costing you a cent. That's Town Ball, uniquely Minnesota. To the 4th inning we go. And Corbin Cross, who singled in his first time up, the third baseman. That was the ball that got through the right fielder, past the right fielder, Matt Dingman, and a run scored on the play. An error scored the run, so no RBI for Cross, but he has the only hit of the game right now for Prior Lake. Strike 1 as Ben Johnson is beginning to find his groove. Remember that movie when Ben Johnson got his groove. 5, 8 batters retired in a row. Count goes to 1-1. Or was it How Ben Johnson Got His Groove? Can't remember exactly the title of that movie. But he is in the groove right now with 8 batters in a row retired. One-two pitch, strike 3, fastball, catches the corner, and that is 3 straight batters he has got sent to the dugout looking at strike 3. That's 5 times today that Ben Johnson has recorded a backwards K in my scorebook. Johnson with 6 strikeouts. 5 of them looking. 1 out, and that's going to bring up Alex Waterman. Waterman struck out. He swung. And Ben Johnson has got it going. He is finding the rhythm, the timing. Gets his steps off the back, gets the ball, steps, fires. Goes sidearm, strike 2, fastball. The Kimball Express, and they're riding the Ben Johnson Express right now. 0-2 the count. Fastball fouled away. And staying alive is the cleanup hitter Waterman, who's also the shortstop. Prior Lake scored a run in the first. Kimball tied it up in the second. That's where we sit right now in the top of the 4th. Winner moving on to the Sweet 16 next week. Sidearm curveball, strike 3 if he went. Oh, he did not go. Check swing, and the appeal to first says no. A ball and 2 strikes. Johnson delivers curveball, and there it is. So I'm getting very adept at writing backwards Ks. If you're scoring at home, and there may be 1 or 2 of you, 6 of the last 8 batters have gone down looking. Not Luke Weber. Luke Weber with the Milroy ties. He comes up swinging, and he flies out to the left fielder for the 3rd out of the inning. So we are going to the bottom of the 4th, and that is 11 straight batters. Since the Corbin Cross single and the air, nobody else has touched first base in a legitimate manner. We'll be in the bottom of the 4th when we come back, and it's tied up 1-1. We'll be right back after this on PrepSpotlight.tv. We're going to take a look at the Class A and B highlights from a week ago, including Minnetonka winning their 15th Class A championship.
They haven't been easy to come by. Here's a high fly into left field, way back and gone. Brown takes his lead at first, the 2-2. Lifted in the air, shortstop. Arnold backtracking, he's got it. And the Chanhassen Redbirds hold on.
Dane pauses. This one hit in the air. Shallow right field coming on, it falls! It falls! And Elko wins it 7-6.
9-6 Millers here in the 9th. Pushing pitches, swung on, off the end of the bat towards second base. Hansen has it, tags the runner, goes to first, and the Millers are state champions. As Jeff Miller grounds into a double play.
To the bottom of the 4th we go. And a rally happening in Springfield as Bemidji has come back from a 3-0 deficit to take the lead. The word from the executive producer, who's sitting 180 miles away instead of 180 inches away from me this week. The executive producer tells me the Maple Lake defense is struggling a little bit as Bemidji scores 4 runs to take the lead in that game. Again, the winner of that game in Springfield takes on the winner of this game here, and this is a 1-1 tie. And Ben Morrison delivers the pitch in the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch to Max Tibbetts. Tibbetts scored the 1 run for Kimball, reaching on an air, and he came around to score on the RBI single from Austin Ruley. 2 balls and no strikes to Tibbetts, wearing number 15, and hits from the right side of the plate. Morrison tries to bust him inside with something off speed, and it's inside, ball 3-0. Tibbetts, the second baseman for this Kimball Express team that won the championship just 3 years ago, and they won it in walk-off fashion, and we'll talk about that hopefully here in this inning as the count goes to 3-1. I have it set up to talk about it, but ground ball from Tibbetts, played by Cross. He fields it on a hop, throws across the diamond over to Jared Lair, and they get the out. One down, and up to the plate now is Brooks Marquardt. And a story about Brooks. Brooks is the son of Tom, who is the manager of this team. Still has 3 sons and grandsons and generations playing here. But Brooks was born during the state tournament in 1987, so we were probably approaching right around the time of his 33rd birthday, 1987, in late August, as he looks at strike one. He was born on the morning of a state tournament game when Kimball was playing in the state tournament. And Tom was able to do both as the count goes to 1-1. Tom was able to be there for the birth of Brooks and make it to the game. Family and baseball all in one day. That's pretty impressive. And I wonder how many wives would have allowed that to happen. But if you're a Marquardt and the Kimball Express are in the state tournament, I'm guessing that's going to happen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Brooks Marquardt, the right fielder, he was hit by a pitch his first time up, and he taps it back to the pitcher. Ben Morrison fields it in the heel of his glove, and the throw was off target, and it makes the first baseman Lair fall off the bag, and Brooks Marquardt on with an E5 or E1. We're going to call that E1 as the throw. Takes Lair off the bag. Second error of the game for Prior Lake. The first one led to a run. Let's see if this is a little foreshadowing of what happens here. Up next is Austin Ruley, and Ruley is a guy who they haven't kept off the base paths yet. Single in the first, RBI single in the second, both of them to left field. Ruley, the stocky leadoff hitter wearing number 6, right-handed hitter, and the left fielder. 2 for 2 against Morrison. Morrison quickly flips it over, and a little bit of akin to what happened just seconds ago. His throw over to first brings Lair off the bag 2 or 3 steps. Lair hangs on to that one, and diving back is Brooks Marquardt. So with 1 out, runner at first, and the pitch delivered, and Ruley takes the curveball, takes a hack at the curveball, and it's fouled away. Thanks for joining us here on PrepSpotlight.tv. Coverage of the state tournament, state seat tournament. Andy Price and Nicholas Earlbeck and the executive producer is on board as well. I'm going to give him full credit. Another toss over to first. That is an interesting move by Ben Morrison. He kind of almost looks like he crosses up his feet. Great weekend for baseball. It's supposed to just be perfect temperatures, sunny skies. Curveball hits the helmet or the shoulder. I couldn't tell. It didn't sound like the helmet. But for the 3rd time this game, Austin Ruley finds his way over to first base. This time he's hit by a pitch. That brings up Scott Marquardt as Brooks Marquardt goes over to second base on that play. Runners at first and second and 1 out. And this is the story I was going to say. They won the championship in 2017, and heading towards 40 years old here is Scott Marquardt, who's playing third base. And reading articles about that state tournament, he was going to retire. He was about ready to hang it up. But they played in the championship game against Lake Henry that year in 2017, and Scott Marquardt delivered the blow, the walk-off home run, as they win their state championship. And I was talking to Tom Marquardt earlier in the week about it, and he said there's nothing better than to watch your team walk off and win a state championship, but also when it's your son who delivers that walk-off. And it's a moment that the Marquardt family and Kimball won't forget, as the count is 0-1. Pitch high, and the count level 1-1. And so Scott, who had talked about retiring now 3 years ago, is still sitting here on the plus side of 40, wearing his uniform, playing third base, batting second in the lineup. Slaps it towards second. Tag of the runner at second, and they throw on to first, and Lair hangs on to it, and the double play ends the inning. So Scott Marquardt didn't live up to the billing of that story that I was just delivering. Ground ball, the tag 4 unassisted on the play to get the second out. Austin Ruley heading between first and second. Grounded into double play on the 4-3 flip. Give full credit to Luke Weber, the young man from Prior Lake with the Milroy ties. He makes the double play, and the inning ends. We'll go to the top of the 5th, and it's all squared up, 1-1. We'll go to break. We'll be right back after this on PrepSpotlight.tv. Little Rick Springfield for you. Early 80s in Milroy. It is late August, the last Saturday of August in the unrecognizable year of 2020. The only thing that's recognizable is baseball and cornfields in the background. And a great day for state amateur baseball tournament play. We're into the top of the fifth, and Ben Johnson, who is on a roll, will be facing the numbers 6, 7, and 8 hitters. Jake Lair, the right fielder, at the plate right now, as I have been ad nauseum counting for you. Since the time when Corbin Cross got the single and the air that scored the run to make it 1-0 Kimball, nobody else has reached base. 11 straight batters have failed to reach against Ben Johnson. Johnson rocks, fires the sidearm slinging curveball. It lands short, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. There's a lot of body parts moving at you when you're watching Ben Johnson there, and he's dipping down to that sidearm. And it may cause a little confusion. And that's another called third strike. Slightly uncanny, 7 of them. 8 strikeouts total, 7 of them are backwards in the scorebook. So if you are scoring at home, you're getting also the chance to write either KL. There's some people who go KL for strikeout looking, or backwards K for the strikeout looking. Ben Morrison, pitcher versus pitcher. He struck out looking his first time up, and he takes a ball outside, 1-0 the count. Ben Johnson kicks and delivers just off the corner, and the count is 2-0. Two balls, no strikes, pitch inside, and so Ben to Ben, and the batting Ben Johnson, or Ben Morrison, has now got the advantage. 3 balls, no strikes. Top of the 5th inning, we'll get the score bug up. Sorry, I'm just looking out at the cornfields. Strike on the pitch. The mesmerizing cornfields of late August, just outside of Milroy, on the south side of Milroy, Yankees ballpark. And a walk on the 3-1 pitch. And there's your base runner. So 12 batters in a row failed to reach until a walk to Ben Morrison. Still just 1 hit for Prior Lake. He's talking about Prior Lake and their propensity, at least in the state tournament, as Ben Kelsey's taken off his catcher's gear. Not sure why he didn't have it off. There was only 1 out. That's usually only a tactic you take when there's 2 outs and you're on deck and you're a catcher. But talk about the propensity in the state tournament of not playing clean games for Prior Lake as they win that near 4-hour marathon 13-10 last week against New Ulm. And today they've already committed 2 errors and had a couple hit batters, but they've been able to make the plays that have got them out of the innings. That double play in the last inning is how you clean up some of the messes when you can get 2 outs in 1 pitch. And that's happened there, and we've also gotten some outs on the base paths. So that's how you clean up the messes, and that's why it's a 1-1 game. 4 total hits, 3 total errors so far. Top of the 5th inning. And Kelsey, with the count 1-1, backs out of the box. He's got the stirrups on. Love the stirrups look. With the red at the bottom, stripes in the middle, and the blue up top. It's a very fashionable outfit for the Mudcats. Two balls and a strike now after that pitch misses from Ben Johnson. Johnson, the righty, fastball swung on and missed, and it's 2-2. 2-2 the count. 1 down, runner at first base is the pitcher, Ben Morrison. Jared Lair is on deck. Kelsey looks at a high fastball, and the count goes full. Top of the 5th inning. Game just about an hour old as these pitchers have been moving along, especially Ben Johnson. 3-2 pitch, grounded up the middle. He fields it with his bare hand, flips it to the shortstop, double clutch and on to first for the 1-6-3. So Brian Marquardt gets the play from Ben Johnson, who fields the comebacker with a bare hand. He turns and fires to short, who's covering second. They get the double play. 1-6 on the first out, 1-6-3 on the grounded into double play. Ben Kelsey ends the inning. Now he can put the tools of ignorance back on, and we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. You're watching Prep Spotlight's coverage of the State C tournaments, 1-1 and a good one. Prior Lake, the Mudcats, and the Kimball Express will be back in just a bit.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Now a 3 in the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Bottom of the 5th here in Milroy. It's tied up 1-1. Earlier today in Milroy, Bluffton beat Randall 11-0. A 6-run second inning where 6 straight base runners reached. That did end the Randall Cubs, who won last week in dramatic fashion. And then in the second game, Carver with a slight upset over the Delano Athletics. The Black Sox win at 4-2. David Dolan, the third baseman, was the story of the game. 3 hits and a run batted in, but in the first inning, top of the first inning, he was on deck and he took a line drive right off his knee. And he went down, and he went down hard, and it was like, oh, well, we've lost our third baseman at the start of the game. But not only did he have 3 hits and an RBI, but Dolan also made a couple flashy plays over at third base and acquitted himself very well. Andrew Weber, the winning pitcher, the crafty lefty, went 6 innings, and he gets the win as Carver moves on to the Sweet 16, and now it's Prior Lake and Kimball playing. And it's a 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the 5th. Ben Morrison coming into the inning, or this 5th inning, getting the double play to end the last inning. He's given up 3 hits. Hit a couple batters. And he's walked 3. Up at the plate is the big first baseman, Adam Byer, and he looks at strike 1. Ben Morrison in the bottom of the 5th starts things off with a strike. The right-handed hitting first baseman. Pitch on the way, and it's a strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Bemidji now leading 5-3 into the top of the 5th inning. Slow breaking ball trying to induce the swing. Holding back on it was Byer, and it's ball 1. Bottom of the 5th inning. Pitch on the way. At the knees, just a little low, and the count runs even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2 the count to Byer on the game so far as Byer singles. Just as I was about to give you what he's done today, he is now 1 for 2, a walk and a strikeout, and give him the single up the middle, the 4th base hit for the Expressive Kimball. Here comes Ben Johnson. Johnson reached on a fielder's choice and grounded to the shortstop his last time up. Well, Ben Johnson with the pitcher to chance to help himself. And maybe push his team ahead on the scoreboard. First pitch, breaking ball in for a strike, and Ben thought that might have been a tad bit low. He'll mutter something like, I'll get that same pitch. I know, thanks. I'll get that same pitch in the next half inning. I see it. No balls and a strike. Curveball swung on and missed. He also, Morrison, is the he that I was referring to, also dips down a little bit when he throws that pitch. Not as pronounced as Ben Johnson's sidearm, but Morrison also leaves the traditional slot, as you would say, and he throws a fastball off the plate, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Halfway home in this one in a 1-1 tie. That is if we play just the traditional 9 innings. The Frisbee-like breaking ball that's slow and just keeps sliding away from the right-handed hitter is not offered at, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ben Johnson. 2-2 pitch on the way, curveball swung on and missed, and Morrison picks up the strikeout. 1 out. Runner at first base is Adam Beyer, and Joe Pennert's at the plate.
Now batting designated hitter number 21, Joe Pennard.
3 strikeouts for Morrison right now. And it's lined up the middle. That'll fall for a base hit in center field. So Beyer heads to second. Pennert's with the single. He's reached base twice now. That's the 5th hit of the game for Kimball, and they're in business. Runner at first and second. It's going to bring up Cade Marquardt. Cade is 1 for 2, the catcher, grandson of Tom. And
Now batting the catcher number 10, Cade Marquardt.
single to left his last time up. Their run came in the 2nd inning. That tied it up. They have never led in this game. While sitting over at second base is Adam Beyer. He has a chance to change that sentence if he can cross the plate. First pitch is that Frisbee-esque curveball that Morrison gets a strikeout. He's got a couple off-speed breaking pitches. That one is the slowest of the 2 or 3 that he throws. 0-1 the count. He goes back after it again, and he hits it for a strike. So he gets that pitch over the zone. Just heard the public address announcement that the Twins lost 2 games today to Detroit and Ron Gardenhire. I'm glad to see that the Major League guys are deciding to play baseball. We have been playing baseball here, and a swing and a miss from Cade Marquardt. And there's 2 down.
Now batting the shortstop number 20, Brian Marquardt.
See a few of the cars zooming down Highway 68, which is just beyond the center field fence. Heading off into the countryside, maybe going to Tracy, might be going down to Walnut Grove, on the banks of the Old Plum Creek. You ever been there? All right. Speaking to my producer, I've got my executive producer working 180 miles away from me. I've got the producer, Nicholas Earlbeck, who's doing a heck of a job on camera today, keeping me on somewhat on the straight and narrow. First pitch, in for a strike to Brian Marquardt. Brian 0 for 1, he's walked. There's 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners at first and second. Ben Morrison, there's that curveball. It's got a nasty break to it. And there are 2 strikes now. So Morrison is now matching Johnson a little bit with his efficiency and effectiveness. Pitch for pitch, batter for batter, though he does have 2 runners on here. 2 singles to center. Fastball, he humps it up. That's what you call that. He overthrows that one, and it's outside. At least that's what my coach, Mr. Wells, used to say when he wanted a pitcher to give it a little extra. Hump it up. I don't know if that's for all ages. First and second, curveball, and it kept curving and gets away from the catcher. That Kelsey was trying to catch it, but it was one of those Bugs Bunny type pitches that it just doesn't get there, and he stabbed at it and missed it. And the runners move up, and we're going to call that a pass ball, not because I don't like catcher Ben Kelsey. It's just I think that's a ball you got to catch. He was throwing it before he caught it, so we'll call that pass ball in my book. And now there's 2 runners in scoring position. 2 balls and 2 strikes and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. This is key. If we're going to put a little circle around something, this is a key at-bat here. See if a go-ahead run can be pushed across. Brian Marquardt looks at a pitch low, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 runners on for Brian Marquardt. He throws the curveball, and there's strike 3 called. So Marquardt gets that Frisbee-like curveball over, and the pitchers are matching each other in a very unique style, and we played 5. 2 runners left on base. we do some counting now, we can see that 9 runners have been left on base through 5 innings. So we go to the top of the 6th. It's a lot of opportunities to score that Kimball has not taken advantage of. So far it hasn't hurt them. They're tied 1-1. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. You're watching Prep Spotlight coverage of the Class C tournament here in Milroy.
Bemidji 5, Maple Lake 3, and that's 5 innings completed.
Well, based on the last update we have right there, it looks like the game in Springfield and the game in here in Milroy are at exactly the same pace, both through 5 innings. Bemidji has rallied back to take a 5-3 lead on Maple Lake. Here it's 1-1 as we go to the top of the 6th inning. And Ben Johnson will be attacking the number 9 hitter, Jared Lair. He grounded out to the first baseman his first time up, and the first pitch he takes a hack at it, and it caroms off from fouling back into play. So 1 strike to Lair. 8 strikeouts on the day for Ben Johnson. Gave up a run in the first, unearned. Chopped out in front, chopped right off the foot of number 22, Lair, the first baseman. That's a stinger. That'll leave a mark on his Nikes. I don't know if I can use brand names here. We're not getting paid by Nike to say that, but it was off his Nikes. I'll take a free pair of shoes if anybody in Oregon is listening. Phil Knight, you watching Town Ball? No balls and 2 strikes, nobody out. And Ben Johnson's pitch is chopped down the first base line. It started foul and went fair. That's an oddity. You don't usually see that. It started with 1 bounce foul, but kicked towards the fair side, and they get the out 1-3. So good bounce by Ben Johnson, not letting that one go, because that one spun the opposite way. Usually you see the ball go from... And we have some balls coming out. I thought maybe we had some other athletic trainer or something happening with an injury, but it's just balls, delivering balls. Good hustle. Good hustle by the crew, and there's 1 down here in the top of the 6th inning, and that brings up Johnny Houston. Johnny Houston 0 for 2, a ground ball and a strikeout. First pitch, he tries to fight off an inside pitch, and he fouls it off. And now both pitchers seem to have answers that are the questions that the batters aren't able to answer, maybe would be the best way to put it. No balls and a strike here. Top of the 6th inning. Houston, the leadoff hitter, he plays center field. Last week he had a base hit in that 13-10 win. There's the Ben Johnson version of the Frisbee, that sidearm curveball pitch, and it just keeps spinning, and it's good for strike 2. And he comes back with a fastball from that same angle, and he surely thought he had it. Misses outside, we'll say. 1 ball and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting Johnny Houston. Curveball grounded right back to the pitcher. He fields it off the chest and flips it to first for the out. Johnny Houston didn't even make a move. He was actually walking back towards first base, or back to the third base dugout. Didn't even make a move at first, so not exactly sure of that. Don't see that type of play too often in the amateur baseball side. My boy Kirby Puckett, who I've already referenced once, he run out everything. You never know what's going to happen. Now, I'm not mocking Johnny Houston. Cole Biorge is batting. Cole with the only run of the game for Prior Lake. And he comes up with 2 down in the 6th inning, and the count is 1-1 to Cole Biors. Prior Lake, the Mudcats, in those egg white uniforms. Swing and a miss. Off speed, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Because of the walk but erased by the double play, we can say that Johnson has faced the minimum since the 2nd inning on. Ground ball to the first baseman. Flip over to Johnson covering, so Byer to Johnson. And it's all plays go either 1-3 or 3-1 in your scorebook there in the 6th inning. We're going to go to the bottom of the 6th, and it is still 1-1. We're moving along here as the 2 Bens, Ben Morrison, Ben Johnson, continue to get out. We'll be right back on PrepSpotlight.tv after this.
What's special about high school sports? The passion, the excitement, the memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! DuBois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community, connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
We move to the bottom of the 6th inning and a 1-1 tie here in Milroy. Taking a look around the ballpark, you've got the crowd on the party deck. You got a lot of Kimball fans down below us here in the grandstand. Some Prior Lake Mudcats fans off to our left and also directly below us. Some teams congregating down the left field side. So I think the Black Sox of Carver have decided to stick around in the ballpark and enjoy this game that's going on in a 1-1 tie. Max Tibbetts, Brooks Marquardt, and Austin Ruley are your 3 batters here in the bottom of the 6th, and Morrison gets a strike on the very first pitch. Bottom of the 6th inning, it's tied 1-1. 1 run in the first for Prior Lake. Kimball answered with a run in the second, and that is it. Morrison delivers curveball off speed. That might just have been more of a straight change, and he gets a strike. So Morrison has pitched 5 solid innings, only giving up 1 run. Either run is earned, both errors leading to it. Fly ball out to center field, and making the catch is Johnny Houston. Slapped the glove on his leg and makes the play. So Tibbetts is out. He is 0 for 3, but he had reached on an error. Now up is Brooks Marquardt, and he's been hit, and he reached on an error. So he's been on base both times, but he's 0 for 1. Brooks, the 33-year-old son. I'm going to say he's 33. Maybe he's 32, close to 33. He was born in 1987, right around this time, and the Frisbee pitches over for a strike from Morrison. Delivers another pitch. Ground ball towards the left side, having to field it quickly. It's Waterman at second. He's not going to be able to make the throw, so an infield single for Brooks Marquardt. 3rd time he's reached base. Alex Waterman, the shortstop from Savage, he fielded it. He had to move range. He had to range quite a bit to his right to make the play. So we go back to the top of the order, and it's Austin Rule. Rule has 2 base hits. He was also hit by a pitch. He's 2 for 2. They have 6 hits on the game do the Kimball Express in their red tops, gray trousers. Runner at first is going. Rule trying to hit behind the runner. Has a fly out to the right fielder. They throw back to first base, but scampering back is Brooks Marquardt. A little hit and run, but Rule didn't get it on the ground. He flies out to right fielder Jake Lair for the second out. And 2 down brings up Scott Marquardt. I just told the story about the Scott Marquardt walk-off in 2017 to win the Class C state championship, and he grounds into a double play. So I'm not going to say anything. We're not even going to hint about that story, and we'll see what Scott does here. Ben Morrison finding his groove on the hill, and his first pitch is low, ball 1 to Marquardt. Scott, lots of Marquardts in the lineup. If you're counting, 4. It's a good game here. Well played into the bottom of the 6th. Marquardt pops it up into right center field. It'll be the center fielder, Houston. Again, the slap of the thigh, and the catch is made. And no runs scored despite a 1-out single. So 1 runner left on base, 1 hit, no runs. We'll go to the top of the 7th inning here. And we'll be right back on PrepSpotlight.tv. So as we were talking about the Brooks Marquardt being born in 1987 during state tournament play, on a day when Kimball was playing in the state tournament, they just announced it is his 33rd birthday. So every once in a while, I'm close to the storyline. Every once in a while, I can smell it. Thanks to the Milroy crew here, the folks from the Yankees, Ryan Rollick and company, Brian Dolan. Haven't seen the youngster Joe Kemp at the ballpark yet this weekend. He's probably at the lake house doing something like that. All right, we pick it up here into the top of the 7th inning. And it is Corbin Cross. Cross with the lone base hit for the Mudcats of Prior Lake here in the top of the 7th. Foul chop on the second pitch, and Ben Johnson has gotten ahead in the count 0-2. Cross, after his single that ended up scoring a run, but only after an error, so no RBI, he also struck out in the 4th. Pitch just misses the outside corner, and the count is now a ball and 2 strikes to Corbin Cross. Shading him a little bit towards left field. Curveball misses. Is more of a slider. That had some velocity on it. And Johnson runs the count to 2-2 on Corbin Cross, the right-handed hitting third baseman. Cross lifts it to left center, and just as I said, they were shading him a little bit towards left center. Well, that's right. See, it's good to shade. We're all about shading. Shifting, ridiculous. Shading, part of the game of baseball. I'll leave it at that. 1 out, and that brings up Alex Waterman, the shortstop. He has gone down swinging and looking. First pitch, sidearm, chopper towards short. It's going to take a nice hop off the grass. The throw over to first base made by Brian Marquardt, and there's 2 up and 2 down. Here comes Luke Weber. Weber's gotten a big hand from the crowd all day long as noted. He is the grandson of a Milroy legend, a Milroy Yankee legend. You hear the stories about town ball in southern Minnesota. I'm not talking just about, I'm just saying because we're in southern Minnesota with Milroy, southwest corner in those days of the 50s and 60s where these games, before professional baseball came on board, as the strike is thrown on the first pitch from Ben Johnson to Luke Weber. Fastball misses just off the plate, and the count is 1-1. And you just hear all those stories, and we would spend some time down here in this part of the state, and you can feel some of the echoes of the history of the town ball in places like this, not just from this year. And I know they've refurbished this ballpark over the years. This isn't the original park, but you just get that sense and that feel. As now missing 3 straight times on pitches is Ben Johnson. So Luke Weber is working the count into his favor. 3 balls and a strike. We're in the top of the 7th inning, and there's 2 outs. Johnson delivers in for a strike, and he runs the count full. Just the 1 hit for Prior Lake. They scored after a hit and an error. Johnson, 3-2 pitch, delivers. Pitch was off the plate, but Weber does a nice job of fighting it off. And the count remains full. 3-2 pitch in for a called third strike. It's been a while since we've seen one of those. That's the 9th strikeout of the game. 7 of them have been called third strikes. If I'm not 8 of them. 8 of them have been called third strikes. So 3 up, 3 down again as Ben Johnson has figured it out after giving up a run in the first, although it was an unearned run on an error. And he is moving into the 7th inning stretch. And we'll just keep it here for that. And this has become a very entertaining game where both pitchers have unique deliveries and unique pitching styles, and they both have kept the other team in check after early runs. So it's 1-1. 6 hits for Kimball, just 1 hit for Prior Lake. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And it'll be the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Kimball. The executive producer had sent in a note on the Bemidji game, and they're into the top of the 7th. So Bemidji was down 3-0. They have rallied to score 5, and they lead at 5-3 going into the 7th. I'm getting cauliflower ear as a broadcaster from the wearing headphones now for 12 straight games, for 12 games actually, and I did a swim meet earlier this week. We'll be doing swimming and soccer on our Prep Spotlight high school side as we started the season last week. Ben Morrison taking to the hill here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Adam Beyer to the plate for the Express. Bottom of the 7th inning. Here in Press Row, we've been noting all the different stations that are here. There are 3 different radio stations beside us. Here we have Hutchinson Station as Beyer hits it off the end of the bat on the first pitch, and Morrison's going to induce a ground ball out. As fielding it was Luke Weber, and the throw on to first base. So we have the Hutchinson conglomeration. We've got the New Prague conglomeration. Oh, boy. That's what happens when you're broadcasting a lot, and you just can't get words correct. But the K-Check out of New Prague, who's covering the Prior Lake team, of course. And we have Albany, who's covering the squad out of Kimball, a great town ball radio station out of Albany, and they are here as well. So we've had stations from the Piers area as well. Ben Johnson and Little Falls covering the game, and Ben Johnson is hit. So Ben Morrison hits his opposing pitcher, Ben Johnson. So it's the third hit batter along with the walks. So they've had their share of runners. 10 runners have been left on base by the Express. Joe Pennert's coming to the plate, the DH. We are at the nail-biting time now where every runner, every pitch has just a little bit of extra meaning. It's 1-1 in the bottom of the 7th. Pitch on the way for Morrison. That slow curve is over for a strike. Ben Johnson, the pitcher, will stay in the game and run. He's reached base twice now. He was hit and on a fielder's choice. Pennertz grounds towards short. It's fielded by Waterman. He gets the out at second. Johnson slides in hard, and they can't make the throw on to first base. 6-4 on the fielder's choice for the second out. And Pennertz reaches base for the second time. He had gotten the third time he's walked and gotten a base hit leading up to that. So Cade Marquardt comes up. Marquardt 1 for 3, single in the third. He struck out, and he's grounded out the third. So 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. And the game is tied 1-1. Morrison delivers, curveball, catches the plate for a strike. That thing is a slow breaking ball, and it slides across the front end of the plate. Pennertz at first. There's 2 outs. Cade Marquardt, the catcher, at the plate. Pitch on the way, outside, ball 1. Pitch by Morrison. Again, that breaking ball. This one a little low. And 2 balls and 1 strike to count. 2 down. Sun now just getting to the point where we're going to see a little bit of it underneath the grandstand. And Cade Marquardt gives it a ride to straightaway center field. Johnny Houston. And the crowd goes wild. Cade gave it a ride to straightaway center field, but Houston got a jump on it, and he galloped his way out to the gap to make the play for the third out. And after 7, it is 1-1. Another runner left on base. They've left a runner on base every inning as Kimball, but it doesn't matter. The score is still 1-1. Even though Kimball may be leading the way and hit 6-1, it's all about the runs you score. We're going to keep it here going into the 8th. Andy Price, Nicholas Earlbeck. Just thanking the folks from the MBA, the Minnesota Baseball Association, who've been very helpful and accommodating to us here at PrepSpotlight.tv. It's been a partnership for the last 3 weekends. We started with the Class A tournament in St. Anthony, in the village of St. Anthony. So we were at St. Anthony Village for the A tournament. That was all by itself 2 weeks ago. And then we came back for the quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals last week there. We've been in Shakopee at Joe Schlepper Stadium for the Class B tournament, here in Milroy for the Class C, and in Springfield. Now, if you remember, just 3 weeks ago, we thought all these games were going to be played in New Ulm. But New Ulm begged out. With coronavirus concerns, they didn't want to have a COVID-19 outbreak with the restricted number of fans that they were going to let in, and so the city council said we don't want the baseball, and so the folks of Milroy and Shakopee more than happy to pick up the pieces. To the top of the 8th we go. It's 1-1. Ben Johnson, fastball, swung on and missed to start the 8th inning from Jake Lair, the right fielder. Jake 0 for 2 with strikeouts. Another ball hit back up the middle off the hand of Ben Johnson. Brian Marquardt doing what he can to try to make that play coming across from the shortstop position. Gets it and flips it towards first base, but Jake Lehrer beats it out. And that will be a base hit. An infield hit off of the pitcher played by the shortstop, but it is a hit. So hit number 2, and Lehrer is on base. So with a runner on, leadoff runner, nobody out, here comes the pitcher, Ben Morrison. So Morrison has a chance here to help himself. They're playing for the bunt. The third baseman is way in. The pitch outside, they're going to snap throw down to first. Cade Marquardt, snap throw late to get Lehrer. See if they get him missing the bunt. It's happened on the flip side. The Mudcats were able to turn a missed bunt opportunity into a pickoff down at first, and Morrison looks like he's in the position to square around a bunt, and he misses strike 1. 1-1 the count. So the pitcher, Ben Morrison, with the nice tuft of facial hair. Everybody's got that, what everybody's calling it, I guess, the COVID-19 beard, facial hair. He's one of the guys sporting that, and the count 1-1 strike. Again, squares the bunt outside, 2-1. I think Johnson is going to try to make it as tough a pitch to bunt for Morrison as possible, trying to keep that runner out of scoring position. Nobody out. Leadoff single here to start the 8th inning, as you start seeing the shadows come in from the trees in right field over the foul pole. Outside again, and it's 3-1. So now you have to come in and see if he's going to bunt this pitch or not. You don't want to give up a free base and have, even though you have force out, you don't want runners at first and second with nobody out. That changes the scenario of this game in a 1-1 game drastically. 3-1 pitch is bunted right back to the pitcher. Johnson swings and throws it for the out at second. They throw back to first, and they get it. 1-4-3 on that double play, and Ben Johnson does a fabulous job of fielding his position. He knew that he had time to get that out at second base, and so on the bunt, Ben Morrison unable to move the runner over, and to top it off, he gets thrown out at first as well. So Morrison, who had an opportunity to help himself as the opposing pitcher, doesn't happen. I can tell you, it's a big play. That is a key play. That just changes the complexion of this inning. Pop-up, Ben Johnson and Cade Marquardt chasing it, and it's going to land right above us or right above the folks that are sitting down the way just a little bit here in the grandstand. So this is Ben Kelsey, the catcher, up with nobody on, 2 outs. So when the next run might be the winning run, the next run, very, very, very key, if I can say very, 3 different times, in 3 different inflections. I did. No balls and a strike to Kelsey. Johnson delivers and misses. So because of the now 2 double plays, there has, since the start of the second inning, Johnson has faced the minimum number, 3 in each inning. Breaking ball misses inside, 2 balls and a strike in what has become a very entertaining game. Lots of twists and turns on this one. And 2-1 pitch is fouled off, right back to the catcher, and the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sun beginning to set in the western sky, and this game is very much in doubt. Just 2 hits for Prior Lake, but they're in it in a 1-1 tie. Grounded towards third, fielded by Marquardt, and he's going to toss it on over. So Scott Marquardt gets the ground ball and the out, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 8th inning now, and we are still tied 1-1. We're going to take a break. Tired of talking. We'll be right back. PrepSpotlight.tv. Stick with us. It's exciting. Exciting, right? Pretty exciting. We'll be right back. To the bottom of the 8th we go. We have one more game here tonight, and it will feature Dilworth, who made their first ever state tournament appearance last week in a game against the St. Clair Wood Ducks, the Rail Dogs of Dilworth, and they won. And they'll be taking on the Bull Frogs of Bird Island in a game I'm looking forward to. Every game I'm looking forward to here. Nothing but fun baseball. We'll get the score bug right for you, and we are into the bottom of the 8th inning, and it is tied 1-1. So to the plate for Kimball is Marquardt, Tibbetts, and Marquardt. This is Brian Marquardt, the shortstop. 0 for 2, a walk and 2 strikeouts. Count 0-1, and Morrison delivers a fastball in the corner. Morrison has been mixing up that breaking ball and the fastball so effectively. Now, they've had some runners. As I said, every runner on base every inning, but Morrison only giving up that 1 run in the 2nd inning. 0-2 pitch, goes fastball just off the corner, count 1-2. Milroy, Minnesota, the site of Class C state tournament baseball play, and we've got a good one here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Breaking ball induces the pop-up. Third baseman, Cross, underneath it, makes the play. So Marquardt out, first out. Max Tibbetts comes to the plate. Max reached on an error and scored the only run for Kimball today. Since then, he's grounded out and flown out to center field. Tibbetts, the number 8 hitter, second baseman. It's been quiet since the 2nd inning, and the frisbee curveball for Morrison is swung on and missed. The 2 bends towing the rubber today have got the job done. Breaking ball again, 0-2 to Tibbetts. Morrison peers in, gets the sign, and the 0-2 pitch is on the way. Goes fastball, misses outside. A ball and 2 strikes here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1-1 the score. Pitch on the way, misses outside, 2-2. Morrison delivers his 2-2 pitch. Almost gets a swing on a pitch inside. Checks down to the first base umpire. Said no go. And it's not the first time. This has kind of been a pattern where Morrison gets ahead in the count and then nibbles a little bit. 3-2 curveball hit at the shortstop and fielded in the air. Out recorded on a line drive on the catch, and 2 down. And that brings up Brooks Marquardt. Said it's his 33rd birthday today. Brooks, a baseball name. If there's ever a baseball name, I'd put Brooks in the top 10 of baseball names. Mickey would be a good baseball name. And Brooks on his 33rd birthday has reached base all 4 times, last 2 times with base hits. He's been hit, he reached on an error, and 2 base hits. So happy birthday, Brooks Marquardt. 2 for 3, and that brings up Austin Ruley. Ruley reached his first 3 times as well. So the pattern goes on that Morrison and Prior Lake have not had a clean inning. They have not gone 1, 2, 3 in any inning today. 10 runners left on base. 2 down, and we're back up to the top of the order. Austin Ruley. Is this the time when Kimball gets their first lead? Marquardt off and running. Throwing from his knees was Kelsey, the catcher. Strike is called, but into scoring position is Brooks Marquardt. So how about that? That's a big play. I don't know if they were expecting him to go, especially first pitch running, and all of a sudden now you have a runner in scoring position. The last time was in the 5th when they had a runner in scoring position. Here we are in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Brooks Marquardt on his birthday singles and steals a base with 2 outs. Now, will Austin Ruley be the guy who brings him in? Well, he's got a chance here. No balls, 1 strike. The right-hander, Morrison, delivers. Curveball swung on, foul tip into the mid, and it's 0-2. It's his best pitch, and he has kept them off balance. I think that's the word I've been looking for about 3 hours. Off balance, or hyphenated word. Finally came to me. I'm a genius. 0-2, pitch to Ruley. Fastball, slow chopper, Cross has to charge it. He's not going to get the throw, and so it's an infield single that puts runners at first and third. Slow chopper that Cross knew he just wasn't going to get Ruley. So Ruley with his 3rd base hit of the game. And we are first and third as Brooks Marquardt makes the move over to third base on the plate. They thought maybe he was going to round a little bit if Cross made the throw. Not the case. Runner at first, runner at third, and here he is, Scott Marquardt. The game-winning hero in 2017 state championship game, and he has the go-ahead run now 90 feet away from him. There are 2 outs. Ben Morrison is on the rubber. First pitch, breaking ball, misses outside to Marquardt. One ball, no strikes. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. Morrison looks at the runner at third, delivers outside corner. Ball and a strike. Fastball in. Morrison, the starting pitcher. He's had runners on every inning. He's been able to get out of jam after jam. Situation after situation. 1-1 pitch on the way. Up high, 2-1. The right-hander now. Facing a count of 2-1 and a go-ahead run just 90 feet away. Pitch. Marquardt taps it foul and the count is 2-2. Is this the moment for the old guard? The 40-plus-year-old Scott Marquardt. In the bottom of the 8th. Runner at third. 2-2. Pitch delivered. Did he go? They said strike 3. He could not hold the swing, and we're going to go to the 9th all tied up at 1-1. Marquardt now 0 for 5 on the game, including a grounded-in double play. Bottom of the 9th inning. We'll be right back on PrepSpotlight.tv.
What's special about high school sports? The passion. The excitement. The memories.
Down on 3 at the buzzer. Good! It's good! Du Bois wins it for the Rebels.
It's about impacting your community. Connecting your business to this audience. This is where your customers live, where they shop. This is their circle of life. This is where your business should be. Connect with your best potential customers. This is your invitation. Get in the game.
Top of the 9 we go, and it is 1-1. Ben Johnson and Ben Morrison locked in a interesting type of pitcher's duel, not just a classic pitcher's duel. And in the ninth, leading it off and a tap right back towards Johnson. Johnson's going to field, and he's going to throw, and he's going to get out Jared Lair, the first baseman. So 1-3. A lot of plays made by Ben Johnson, too, fielding. Not just the strikeouts, but he's also fielding his position well, including a barehanded grab of a ball. He's started a double play. So 1 down, and that brings up Johnny Houston. I'm going to change my mind. I said if I ever could have a last name of a city, it wouldn't be, I was saying it was going to be Andy Milroy, but I think I'm going to go with Andy Hanska would be my name. If I could maybe get a radio name. No balls and a strike to Houston. Sidearm pitch and a ground ball towards the third baseman. And the play is made. And 2 down quickly in the top of the ninth inning. So Houston has yet to reach base. 0 for 4, and that brings up Cole Bjorge. Bjorge scored the run way back in the first inning. Been very few base runners since. He struck out looking, and he grounded out to first in his other 2 at-bats. Bjorge slashes it out to left, but the left fielder, Ruley, is right there. So that is a very expedient top of the ninth inning. And we go to the bottom of the ninth, still 1-1. And it's going to be the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Kimball when they come to the plate. We're going to just keep it here. No reason to go anywhere else as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Sorry, we had the score bug wrong. But it is correct now. Bottom of the ninth inning. So Ben Morrison's going to look to complete 9 innings just like Ben Johnson has completed 9 innings of baseball. The question is, if this thing goes to 10, do we see the Bens roll on? I wouldn't be surprised. So it's 3-4-5 for the Kimball Express. Adam Beyer, Ben Johnson, Joe Pennertz. Here we go to the bottom of the ninth. Beyer, Johnson, and Pennertz facing Ben Morrison. It's been about 2 hours since we've seen anybody cross home plate here. 1 run in the first for Prior Lake, 1 run in the second for Kimball. Since then, it's nothing but zeros across the line score on the scoreboard. We'll see if 3-4-5 change that. Great crowd here on hand today. Very generous crowd on hand here today. And Adam Beyer is the first hitter, and a curveball. That wasn't the frisbee pitch. That was just the regular curveball. It's over for a strike. So he works ahead in the count, 0-1. Beyer swings at a pitch at his eyes, and he fouls it straight back into the net. No balls and 2 strikes. Coming up next, we've got some Bird Island baseball. Bird Island and Dilworth. No balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth inning in a tie game. And Beyer stays alive by fouling off the pitch. I think the sun is going to be playing havoc with young Nicholas Earlbeck here as it's peeking in underneath the grandstand. But we'll see what see all of his talents here right now as the producer of this broadcast. Pitch is low. A ball and 2 strikes. This isn't a broadcast, it's a stream. You've got to remember. Changing of the terminology. 1-2 the count. Ben Morrison. Out of the windup. To Beyer. Curveball misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the bottom of the ninth inning. We're all tied 1-1. Will this thing go to extra frames? We haven't had one. We played extra frames last night in Springfield. Pitch just misses, and the count runs full. Eric Bremer, the son of Dick Bremer, on the call in Springfield last night as that Union Hill-Lamberton game went into extra innings. Here we haven't had an extra inning game. 3-2 pitch to Byer. Curveball, reached on, flips off the mound, fielded by Waterman, the shortstop, and over to first base for the out. So a little kick off the mound that Waterman had to play. He does handle it successfully, fields and throws. Pitcher versus pitcher again, Ben versus Ben. One down. Ben Johnson today reached on a fielder's choice, grounded to the short, struck out, and was hit by a pitch. One out. Pitch to Johnson. Swings and misses at the curveball. Strike one. One down, bottom of the ninth. Breaking ball outside, and count levels up. One pitch, grounded towards third, fielded by Cross. Cross fires across the diamond, stretching forward his lair for the second out. Good stretch by the first baseman, and it's 2 up and 2 down. And I don't know what extra inning smells like, but I think we're catching a whiff of it. 2 down, and at the plate is Joe Pennertz. Pennertz walked in the first, struck out in the third, singled in the fifth, and reached on a fielder's choice in the seventh. Pitch on the way, breaking ball in for a strike. Hard. That's the Frisbee breaking ball right there from Morrison. I don't see anybody in either bullpen, so not sure what's going to happen in the 10th if we go 10. Pennertz is down 0-2 as he fouls the curveball towards the third base coaching box. Ben Morrison has had a runner on base every inning. At least one. One time 3, a couple times 2, 3 times 2. But this might be his first clean inning in the bottom of the ninth. Pitch misses outside. It's a ball and 2 strikes. There are 2 strikes. There was the foul ball and then the called strike on the first one. So it is 1-2. I will not be fooled by the scoreboard. 1-2 pitch, right back to the pitcher, and it is a clean 1-2-3 inning. And we are going to go to the 10th. All tied up. Extra innings here in Milroy. We're going to take a break. You're watching PrepSpotlight.tv. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for logging in. Thanks for registering and subscribing to this game today. All right. Talking over a commercial. That's a way to get fired. I'm going to, for the first time in my PrepSpotlight.tv play-by-play history, I'm going to put 10 in on the inning. We're in the top of the 10th. And honestly, there just hasn't been a threat for a long, long time. We had a runner in scoring position, but I haven't felt the necessity of a run being scored, the inevitability of a run being scored. But Johnson's still pitching. He's in his 10th inning of work. And now there is somebody down in the bullpen. We've got a lefty in the bullpen. And Johnson delivers the pitch to Corbin Cross. Cross singled in the first. It was a play that led to the first run as the ball went through the right fielder's legs, allowing the runner Cole Borgi to score. Cole Bjorge to score. Corbin Cross since then has struck out and flown out. He is 1 for 3. Pitch outside. Ball and 2 strikes. Cross wearing 35. And the count now 2-2. After Cross, it'll be Alex Waterman and Luke Weber. Two-two pitch, chopper. And it will be fielded by Johnson. And for some reason, Cross just did not get out of the box. Like he was tied down in the box. He did not. I don't know if it was because he was looking for it, but he did not break out of the box, so he was an easy out. One down, and Alex Waterman comes to the plate. Got the Dilworth and Bird Island lineups ready to be written into the game for the next game, but here's Waterman, strike 1. Inside pitch, 1-1. Waterman has not reached base yet today. 2 strikeouts and a ground out to short. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Johnson from the sidearm delivers a strike. Fastball, 1-2. Now the count. One ball, 2 strikes. Pitch lifted out towards shallow right center field. Charging and making the catch is Brooks Marquardt. Two up, 2 down here in the 10th. Yes, we are in the 10th inning in a 1-1 game. Who will advance on to next week's play? Who will go home and have their season come to a close? Luke Weber coming to the plate, the lefty. 0 for 3, a strikeout, ground out, and a fly out. Trying to reach base for the first time. Breaking ball in for a strike, and the count moves to 1-1. 2 down. Ben Johnson working his 10th inning. Grounder right up the middle. Second baseman's going to make the play from a knee. He flips it, not going to get him. Infield single for Luke Weber. He reaches base. And the Prior Lake crowd cheers and the Milroy crowd cheers because of his heritage, grandson of a legend in Milroy baseball history. Rich Kramer. So a runner now at first base, and Jake Lair up. Lair singled his last time up, an infield single. He had 2 strikeouts. First pitch and first strike. In the bottom half of the 10th inning, it's going to be Caden Marquardt, Brian Marquardt, and Max Tibbetts at the plate. But we are here in the 10th inning, so let's live in the here and now. Pitch in for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes from Ben Johnson. To Jake Lair, the right fielder. I think he might have offered. And they do say it's a strikeout. And the tag by the catcher. So a single goes by the wayside here. No runs. 1 runner left on base. That is the first runner left on base for Prior Lake since the first inning. That is the first runner left on base since the first inning. Holy smokes. We're going to the bottom of the 10th. We'll be right back on PrepSpotlight.tv. Back here for the bottom of the 10th, Andy Price, Nicholas Earlbeck with you. And Bemidji has won over in Springfield. They knock off Maple Lake. They score the last 6 runs of the game to win it 6-3. And they just said that they will play here next Saturday at 3 o'clock against the winner of this game. And that's only if this game's over with by next Saturday at 3 o'clock. We're going into the bottom of the 10th inning. That's the caveat. Then Morrison's still pitching. I only have 12 innings on my score sheet, so that's all that's allowed to play, though. Here's 13 right here. We'll see if I have to do some makeshift work in the scorebook as we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. And it is the numbers 6, 7, and 8 hitters.
Leading off the bottom of the 10th inning for Kimball, catcher number 10, Cade Marquardt.
Cade Marquardt batting, the catcher. He's 1 for 4. Singled in the 3rd. That's a long time ago. Morrison coming off an inning where he went 1, 2, 3. The first time in 9 innings that Morrison did not allow a base runner. First pitch outside, ball 1. Goes with the off-speed stuff right away to the catcher Marquardt. Cade trying to get things started in the bottom of the 10th. Morrison delivers a pitch that is over the zone, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Morrison delivers another off-speed pitch, swing and a miss. He has kept them off balance with that pitch. 1-2 the count. Breaking ball off the end of the bat, fouled away. Cade he's grounded out, struck out, and flown out, along with a base hit to left field. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and it's a grounder into the hole. Second shortstop has it go right under his glove. That was going to be a tough play anyway. Cade gets down the line pretty good. He's a youngin'. Even though he's the catcher, he runs well. Give him the base hit. His second hit of the game, a leadoff single. And here comes Brian Marquardt.
Now batting shortstop number 5, Brian Marquardt.
Runner at first and nobody out. Bottom of the 10th inning. The shadows becoming a factor. The sun setting here in the 7 o'clock hour in Milroy. Marquardt gets a good look at the breaking ball, and he fouls it straight back. If the Express are going to win it, it's going to be a walk-off. And no balls and a strike. Morrison, fastball over for a strike. Brian Marquardt walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th, and out again in the 8th. And he hits it hard down the line, foul, hooking, and into the Bird Island crew. Or the Dilworth crew. That's into the Dilworth crew down there. Dilworth will be the visiting team against Bird Island in the nightcap, the last of 4 games. It feels like we just got here. I'm fresh. I'm fresh as like a baby chick. Pitch outside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. One to 1 the score. Pitch fouled away again. 1-2 remains the count. Ben Morrison from the set. Checks the runner and delivers. Strike 3 called. Brian Marquardt goes down looking. And there's 1 out. So they don't advance the runner over. The leadoff single still sitting at first base, and Max Tibbetts is up. The most dangerous hitters so far are the 9 and the 1 hitter. And right now Tibbetts is the 8 hitter, so with Brooks Marquardt, who's reached base every time up with 3 base hits. And Austin Ruley, who's reached base 4 times. Runner goes, throw down to second, and a good throw gets him, and a good throw got him. So they, instead of trying to advance him over, they try to steal Cade Marquardt, and just like that, the threat of any implication of a chance for a runner to get into scoring position is eliminated on a great throw. That is a fantastic throw right there from the catcher, Ben Kelsey. So Ben Kelsey comes up throwing, and he puts it right on the mark. The tag put down, and Cade Marquardt is gone. So now 2 outs, and here's the number 8 hitter, Tibbetts. Count 1-1 to Tibbetts. We are in the bottom of the 10th. The Frisbee over for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2 down. Morrison delivers. Frisbee again. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tibbetts reached on an air and scored. He scored the only run in the 2nd inning. Since then, he's grounded out and flown out twice. And he's out on strikes. They strike out and the throw down to first base, and that ends it. So 1-2-3 with the help of a caught stealing. And we go to the 11th. We're just going to keep it here. We'll be back on PrepSpotlight.tv in just a second. It's Prior Lake, the Mudcats, 1. It's the Kimball Express, 1. We're playing to the 11th. And a new pitcher coming into the game. So 10 innings is all Ben Johnson's going to go. Oh, that's all he's going to go. Just 10. We'll be back here in just a second. I'll get you up to speed on who's pitching. To the 11th we go on PrepSpotlight.tv. And the new pitcher is a lefty, Zach Dingman, wearing number 17. And Ben Morrison, pitcher DH, will come up to the plate. Morrison struck out in the 2nd. He reached on a walk in the 5th, and he grounded into a double play on a bunt in the 8th. And he feigns the bunt against the left-handed throwing Dingman. So Ben Johnson goes 10 innings pitched, and he will not factor into this decision. He gives up 3 hits. 1 run, it was not earned. The 0-1 pitch is missing the plate, and the count is 1-1. Popped up in the infield, and Dingman calls for it, as does the first baseman. And the first baseman calls him off in the throw. It gets away down the line. So Morrison heads to second base, and he'll stay there, and that is a major misplay. Morrison pops it up. The pitcher called it, then the first baseman called it, and they both just let it drop. That's an error. We're going to call it error 1, I believe. And with that, it's a 2-base error. And a pinch runner comes into play for Prior Lake. So Prior Lake's pinch running with Michael Walrus. Valerius is at second base. Morrison pops it up and ends at second base with nobody out. So that changes the narrative. Two-base error. Ben Kelsey up to the plate. Kelsey grounded out, grounded into a double play, and grounded out again in the 8th. So he's 0 for 3. 3 hits and 2 errors now allowed by the Kimball Express. And the spin towards second base to Valerius by Dingman, and nobody's covering the bag. They've got the second baseman shifted way over towards first base. The first baseman is in on the grass trying to field the bunt. So you don't see the second baseman in the screen there, and the bunt is fouled away. What a crazy play if that turns the tide in this game. Dingman checks the runner and throws to Kelsey. Kelsey pops it up, and this time Dingman calls for it and catches it. One down on the pop-up, and the runner stays at second base, and that's going to bring up Jared Lair. Jared also 0 for 3. Into the 11th inning here. Slashed out towards right field. Playing in was Matt Dingman. I think that's actually Ben Johnson out there playing right now. I think Johnson is playing in right field. Dingman was pulled out of the game when the pitcher, Zach Dingman, came in. Either way, without being able to see, no binoculars, there are 2 down as the fly ball goes to right field. So the 2-base error to start the inning seems not to have mattered. And the crowd is hooting and hollering here. Probably picking it up off both of our mics. And Houston, Johnny Houston at the plate. Johnny hasn't reached base. Grounded out in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd, grounded out in the 6th, and in the 9th. Here in the 11th, he has a runner in scoring position. Count 1-0. Zach Dingman, the lefty, comes to a set. And delivers. In for a strike, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs in the 11th. Off-speed pitch misses outside. Shortstop Marquardt was heading over to the bag, and he caught the bag and slipped and fell. Hope he's okay. Catch a spike that way. 2 balls and a strike to Houston. Johnny Houston. Johnny, the leadoff hitter, looks at a pitch inside, and the count now runs to 3-1. Cole Biord, who scored the only run a long, long time ago, is on deck. 3-1 the count. Runner at second. Pitch. Outside, ball 4. Runners now at first and second for Biord. Biord was hit by a pitch. Scored in the 1st inning. Struck out in the 3rd. Grounded out in the 6th. Flew out in the 9th. We're going to change hitters, or change runners. So the leadoff guy, Johnny Houston, is being run for. It's interesting. And it's number 33. No, that's not who's hitting. So 33 Prince running. And this is Cole Bjorg hitting. Bjorg offers. Did he go? No. Zach Lavera is the runner at first base. He's not the lead runner. Runner at second is the lead runner. It was Ben Morrison. It is a pinch runner. Pitch outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Two runners on, ground ball towards first, knocked down and knocked away. Play made by the second baseman. They flip to first, and they get the out. Wow, what a funny play that was. The ball bounces off of Byer at first base, right to the second baseman Tibbetts, and covering was Dingman. So 3-4-1 on the ground out. Bjorge thought he had beaten it out, but that ends the inning. So no harm, no foul on the 2-base error. Morrison is not going to pitch the 11th. He went his 10 innings, and he is done. So to the bottom of the 11th, it looks like Morrison is going to shortstop. So Morrison to shortstop, and the pitcher is now number 19 for Prior Lake. And so Waterman comes into pitch. The shortstop Waterman comes into pitch now in the bottom of the 11th. Alex Waterman. We're going to just keep it right here. I'm going to take a break, have a glass of water or something, and we'll be back for the bottom of the 11th. Over to the Kimball Express fans who are now doing the YMCA, or they were. So Brooks Marquardt comes to the plate. Brooks has reached base every time he's been to the plate. It's his birthday. It's his 33rd birthday. And the first pitch is high, ball one. Alex Waterman pitching, relieving Ben Morrison. 10 innings did Morrison go. Next pitch, in for a strike, in the count 1-1 to Brooks Marquardt. Then we go to Austin Ruley and then Scott Marquardt. 1-1 pitch, strike two. Brooks was hit by a pitch in the second, reached on an error in the fourth, and now he's had back-to-back singles in the sixth and the eighth, batting in the 11th. And the pitch from Waterman is a breaking ball outside. So Waterman played short for the first 10 innings, and they're going to move him over and then move the pitcher into the shortstop spot. 2-2 the count. The pitch on the way. Strike three call. Fastball on the corner, right at the knees. A solid pitch. Solid first batter for Waterman. And the lights are turned on in Milroy. No doubt that we're going to be probably about a half hour late for the 8 o'clock start. 1-1 the score. And Ruley, who's also a guy who's been on base 4 times today, singled in the first and the second, was hit by a pitch in the fourth, and singled again in the 8th. So 3 base hits for Ruley. 0-1 pitch, fastball misses outside, a ball and a strike. We are into the 11th. Last run was scored in the 2nd. Pitch on the way, grounded towards short. Morrison now playing over there short, has to sling it over, and it's close because I don't know how much light you have left in a pitching arm when you've thrown 10 innings and have to make a throw from short. So Ruley is retired for only the 2nd time today, and that's going to bring up Scott Marquardt. Scott batting here in the 11th. 2 down. Breaking ball from Waterman over for a strike. Strike 2, another breaking pitch. Same pitch, just a little bit over the heart of the plate. 0-2 the count. Marquardt has not reached base today. He's 0 for 5. Fastball misses outside, 1-2. The Bugs are swirling here in the grandstand. 1-2 pitch. Misses outside, 2-2. On deck is Adam Byer. It's Prior Lake and Kimball in extra innings. Prior Lake's pitch, strike 3. Called strike 3, and Alex Waterman comes in and goes 1-2-3 in the 11th. And we're going to go to the 12th. 12th inning. We're going to go back and look at highlights from last week, while this game might go into next week. Here's some Class C highlights from last week.
Driven to the gap in left center field. This one lands. Big throw to the plate. It's not in time. This is 4 and a walk. Runner going Byer. And the pitch gets away. Byer coming home. There won't be a play. And Foley wins the game.
Sorensen delivers. It's hit hard to right, and that is going to be over his head. Delivers an RBI double. 0-2 pitch. Inside corner, strike 3. And that ends the game. He gets him on a called 3rd strike. He had 2 called 3rd strikes in the inning.
Ground ball up the middle. Great stop by the second baseman. Firing to first and got him. But guess what? The Prior Lake Mudcats have just taken the lead.
Pitch. Hit a long way. Deep. Looking back, and it is gone. And Matt Ambrose has opened this game up with a 3-run home run.
Back with you here in the 12th inning. I call it the final inning because it can't go any further. I don't have any more lines on my scorebook. Dingman pitching his 2nd inning. Both starting pitchers deserved to get a decision. No doubt a win as they went 10 innings giving up just 1 run. Dingman delivering to number 35. That's Corbin Cross. Cross with a base hit in the 1st, and he's 1 for 4. First pitch in for a strike, a breaking ball. We're in the 12th. I'm going to show you the scorebug. It really says it. We're in the 12th inning. I don't know if our mechanical scorebug has anything more. Nope, doesn't. Can't go on any further than this. I'm just going to put OT after this. It's in overtime. Extra innings. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. Cross, Waterman, and Weber will be your batters. Off-speed pitch. Dingman gets a strikeout. And there's 1 down.
Now batting the pitcher number 19, Alex Waterman.
Andy Price and Nicholas Rollback here in a long one. Truthfully, the game is only about 2.5 hours old. We played that much. baseball in 2.5 hours. Started about 7:15. Strike misses, or pitch misses after the strike on the first pitch, so it's a ball and a strike to Waterman. So now the pitcher coming up to the plate. Pitch misses in the dirt, 2-1. Waterman struck out in the first, struck out in the fourth, grounded out in the seventh, and flew out in the eighth. 3 hits is all Prior Lake has mustered. They have scored a run. It was unearned. 9 hits is what Kimball has put on the board. Their run was also unearned. Waterman pops up. Byer chasing over, and he finds a spot, but he overruns it, and the ball clanks off his glove and falls harmlessly to the turf. So Waterman gets an extra chance. Sometimes it's all the difference it makes in a game like this is just an extra chance. Now, I say that, and Kimball had a 2-base error in the last half inning in the 11th, and it didn't hurt him. And it was a 2-base error for the leadoff guy. So they had a runner on second and nobody out. Pitch to Waterman inside, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The lights are on. The sun is on its last few minutes in the sky here on this Saturday night, the last Saturday in August. 3-2 pitch, fouled away. Did anybody go to the state fair today? No. 3-2 the count after the foul ball. No state fair. We don't know when the major league guys are playing. Line drive, and that might get to the gap. Waterman delivers, and that will be extra bases. And a slip by the left fielder. Waterman's going to stand up at second and hang on there. So the left fielder, Ruley, slips. Center fielder makes the play. They throw it in, and Waterman doubles. His first hit of the game, and it comes at a big spot. Now we go to the number 5 hitter, Luke Weber. Prior Lake played a long, wild one last week. Pushed 4 hours. Today we've only played 2.5, 240 maybe, but it's 12 innings. Ground ball, that'll advance the runner over. Fielded by Tibbetts. Tibbetts makes the throw to Byer, sorry about that. And there's 2 down. So he was first pitch swinging with Weber. He advances the runner over. And that brings up Jake Lehrer. So Jake Lehrer has a runner 90 feet away. First pitch from Dingman is a breaking ball that misses. Ball 1. Runner 90 feet away. Waterman, the pitcher, is that runner. Dingman hunched over. And the pitch is inside, 2-0. Prior Lake battling. They were down 8 runs last week, and they found a way to survive. Pitch high, 3 balls and no strikes. They've been out hitting 9-4 in this game, in a 1-1 game, and they are surviving at this point in time. And now 90 feet away from home stands Alex Waterman. He would be the go-ahead run. Pitch is in for a strike to Lehrer, and it's 3-1. Coming up next, Bird Island and Dilworth in the finale. Pitch in for a strike, and the count runs to 3-2. Three-two pitch, slash foul. We'll do it again. Three-two pitch on the way from Dingman. Ground ball up the middle, and it's going to get through, and a run is scored. A run has scored for the Prior Lake Mudcats. Base hit from Lehrer. Jake Lehrer last week went 2 for 5 and had an RBI. Today he picks up an RBI on the base hit. That's his second knock of the game. And like that, just like that, there is another run on the board. Prior Lake has taken the lead going into here in the 12th inning, top of the 12th, and that's going to bring up Ben Morrison. Morrison last inning reached on a 2-base error. That was the pop-up, the first batter that Dingman faced. Runner at first. Morrison looks at ball one. Dingman, the lefty, gives up the gapper double to Waterman, and then the single that scores the run. Strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on the breaking ball from Dingman. It's the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Kimball when they come up. Swing and a miss from Morrison. Morrison struck out in the second. He walked in the fifth, grounded into a double play, and he had the 2-base error he was pinch run for, and that runner went nowhere. Stayed right at second base for the rest of the inning. 2 strike pitches, strike 3. So that ends the inning on a called third strike. But we're going to keep it here as we go to the bottom of the 12th inning. And Kimball, the 2017 champion, a region champion this year, is now got their back against the wall. As we stay here for the bottom of the 12th inning, a run scored, 2-1. They scored in the first and they score in the 12th. And nothing in between there. But will that be good enough? It might just be. We'll be right back. We talked about it being Brooks Marquardt's birthday. We should, again, just one more time since I'm looking at the note right here. Again, a happy birthday to Garrett Hosh, 13-year-olds in St. Joe's, and now he's watching this game. He's watching his Kimball Express, trying to extend it to a 13th inning or score 2 to win it. And they're going to have to do it against Alex Waterman. Waterman, the shortstop for the first 10 innings, came in to pitch the 11th. He also, in the 12th, doubled and scored. So Waterman took the mound, and then he had the chance to take over at the plate, and he hit a bullet to the wall and comes in on the Lehrer base hit. So Lehrer with the RBI. And we go to the bottom of the 12th inning, and it's 3, 4, 5 in the order. Adam Beyer walked in the first, struck out in the second, singled in the fifth, and has 2 groundouts. He's 1 for 4 with a walk. Then it's Ben Johnson, the pitcher, who went 10 pretty spectacular innings. And he is without a base hit, but he's been on base twice on a fielder's choice and a hit batter. So here is Waterman to Beyer. First pitch up high, ball 1. They need a run to tie it. They need 2 runs to win it. What happens here? Swing and a miss, a big cut from Beyer. And he misses on the fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball up high, and it's 2-1. The Mudcats, are they survivors? Will they survive a second straight weekend? Two-one pitch. Swing and a miss by Beyer, and it's 2-2. Waterman hitting the zone with the fastball. He's got 2 swings and misses from Beyer. 2-2 the count. Waterman kicks, delivers, swing and a miss. And how about that? So Waterman has 3 strikeouts in the 4 batters that he's faced. So Ben Johnson went from the pitcher's mound to right field. He reached on a fielder's choice, grounded to short, struck out, was hit by a pitch, and grounded to third. His efforts of 10 innings of pitching, it seems to be fading away. Breaking ball, strike 2. 0-2 the count as Waterman has gone off speed with the first 2 pitches, 2 strikes. 0-2 pitch, they're setting up outside, and he throws the fastball right on the glove, but it was out the plate. It's a 1 ball and 2 strikes. The grounds crew getting ready down past the third base dugout. They got to get ready for one more game tonight. Will it happen right away, or we have more baseball in store? 2 balls and 2 strikes now, as they've nibbled to the outside part of the plate after getting 2 strikes on Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson pitching and hitting in the cleanup spot. 2-2 pitch on the way from Waterman. Swing and a miss. Hokey smokes, Bullwinkle. That's 4 strikeouts and 5 batters. It's all up to Joe Pennertz right now. He is the last breath for the Express of Kimball in the 12th inning. Waterman delivers, fouled off, strike 1. As soon as this game's over, we're going to do a quick wrap and get us ready for our 8 o'clock game, which is not going to start at 8 o'clock because it's 8 o'clock right now. Just letting you know. No balls and a strike. Waterman kicks, delivers, breaking ball, strike 2. Pennertz looks at a very good hook. And now it's down to the final pitch. Pennertz, 21. Has a base hit, has reached 3 times today. 0-2 pitch, misses outside. Pennertz walked in the first, struck out in the third, singled in the 5th, reached on a fielder's choice in the 7th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Waterman, the pitch. Outside 2-2. Same thing as we've seen in the last at-bat. Gets 2 strikes, nibbles on the corner for 2. See what he does with the 2-2 pitch. Waterman delivers. Breaking ball. That's hit to the outfield, and it's going to land for a base hit in front of Johnny Houston. And so Pennertz works the count after going behind 0-2 and singles to center field. Take a breath. There's life in this Express team from Kimball. Cade Marquardt, the grandson of the manager Tom Marquardt, who's been with this team since 1975. We're going to have a pinch runner, so 9 is going into the game. That's a Dingman, so Matt Dingman into the game. Cade Marquardt, the catcher, is at the plate. He grounded out in the first, singled to the left field in the third, struck out in the 5th, flew out in the 7th, and then he singled again in the leadoff spot in the 10th inning, and it looked like that might be the thing that gets things cooking for Kimball, but then he was thrown out trying to steal for the 2nd out. So Cade Marquardt at the plate, the young catcher. There's a runner at first base. That's the tying run. There's 2 outs. Quick throw over to first. Dingman, who was out in right field, had been DH'd for all day. And the pitch up above the head of Marquardt. 2 outs in the 12th. Pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball at the letters. Hard cut from Cade. Ball and a strike. Check of the runner at first. Sun is fully set. The temperature drops a few degrees here when that happens. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes again. The Express down to their final strike. They were able to muster a base hit off the bat of Joe Pennertz the last time we were in this situation just a few minutes ago. Now 1-2. Waterman kicks, delivers a 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. That's his go-to pitch. He goes fastball outside, trying to induce a swing, maybe get a ground ball, is trying to pull it. But it runs the count 2-2, 2 outs. Throw over to first, and Pennertz wasn't paying 100% attention, and he flops back. No tag, so he's safe at first. He's the tying run. Gapper would tie it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Marquardt. Waterman, swing and a miss. And the Kimball Express lose it, and the Prior Lake Mudcats have found a way to move on to the round of 16. They looked dead in the water last week, down by 8 runs, and they win then against New Ulm. They couldn't muster much against Ben Johnson and the Express of Kimball today, but they find a run in the 12th, and the final is 2-1. So Prior Lake wins it 2-1. 2 runs on 5 hits. They commit 2 errors. Kimball's season comes to a close. They score 1 run off 10 hits. They commit 3 errors. None of the errors, one of the errors, I guess, the early error came around to score. The last couple errors did not matter. So we're going to sign off. The final, 2-1. Prior Lake has advanced on to the Sweet 16 where they will take on Bemidji next week. Kimball's season is done. It's been a phenomenal baseball game, a long one, entertaining though. We played 12 innings and it's a final. Prior Lake 2, Kimball 1. We'll be back with Bird Island and Dilworth. After this, you've been watching the Class C State Baseball Tournament on PrepSpotlight.tv. For Nicholas Earlbeck, I'm Andy Price. Thanks for watching, and we'll be right back with you.
The 2020 Class C Minnesota Amateur Baseball Tournament is brought to you in partnership with the Minnesota Baseball Association and presented to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 is the hub for all things sports with the Xfinity Sports Zone. And Wings Financial. We're for people like you.